Hello students. So today now we are going to start with the second chapter of your syllabus, which is formulas in Excel. In the first chapter we had discussed about various tools which are used for formatting the content. Now we are going to use formulas in Excel. How we can use formulas for doing various calculations in MS Excel. Okay, so in this chapter the main topics which we will study are calculations in Excel, using cell references, using auto sum features, using functions from function library, and error results in Excel. So these are the topics which we will discuss. Okay, we will discuss these topics in different parts. I will be discussing this chapter in various parts. Okay, so this will be done in the sequence wise. Okay, we will start with the first topic of a chapter here in part 1 video. Okay, so doing calculations in Excel. Why do we have to do calculations? Because we have in Excel what we are using. We are using Excel for recording various types of numeric data. Okay, these numeric data may be about some expenses, they may be about some marks, or they may be any numeric value. So whenever we are using numeric values, we have to perform various types of calculations also for deriving some results from the data. You see, because unless and until data is processed, we don't get information. So here what type of processing we are doing? We are doing calculations on the data. That calculation is also type of processing which we do in MS Excel, and then after the calculation, the result which we get is the output of that processing. Okay, so now don't I will not complicate these things. Let us move on with the topic here. What is actually, first of all, we should understand what is a cell range. Okay, and why do we use a cell range? See, we can understand this by using this simple example here. What is shown here? See, this figure 2.1 is containing a cell, showing the simple sample sheet which is having a chart here. What is actually having? There are four headers. One is for item, one is for quantity, and one is the rate, and one is the amount. So it is actually showing you what amount you had spent on your birthday for buying different items like confetti, return gifts for your friends, and cakes, balloons, etc. So different expenses are being shown in this chart here, in this sheet here. Okay, this sheet is showing the different amounts which were spent on your birthday. It is just a sample sheet. It is just for your example purpose. Okay, so how you can, if you want to, if I tell you, say these are the four expenses, you have to calculate the sum of the expenses. What was the total expense occurred? So how will you calculate that? We have to take into consideration the values in these four cells. The cells from E1, the cells from E3 to E6. Okay, E3, E4, E5, and E6. You can see the last column E3, E4, E5, E6, because these four are the amount values. These cells are containing the amount values. So if you want to do any calculations on these, then you have to take into consideration all these four cells at once. For that purpose, we all actually use cell ranges. Cell ranges allow us to work on cell ranges allow us to work on a group of cells, data in a group of cells, taking them all at once. So we don't have to specify the names of all the cells for accessing them in our calculations. By using the cell range, what we can do, we can specify the cell range and we can access all those cells together in our formulas or in our calculations. Okay, let's understand that better here. Now, to include various cell ranges in your calculations, what notations are we using here? Have you understood what is a cell range? A cell range is a group of contiguous cells. Okay, the cell range is a group of cells actually. Okay, these cells are in a specific order or sequence. Okay, so like for example, A1 to A8 will denote what? They will denote all the cells from cell A1 to A8 under the column number A. Similarly, A2 to D2 means what? All the cells from cell A2 to D2 under row number 2. Okay, so we know the numeric number is for the row, okay, and the alphabets denote the column. So A2 to D2 means what? All the cells in the row number 2 from cell A2 to D2. Okay, and then similarly, A1 to C4 is what? The block of cells in the form of rectangle with the cell A1 at the top left and the cell C4 at the bottom right corner of the selection. Then again, what is A is to A? Or A is to A means what? All the cells in the entire column A. A is to A means what? A colon A means what? See, actually what I'm going to tell you, for defining a range, how can you define a range? By using the colon. Okay, all of you can see in all these type of range notations, what is common in them? That we are using a column to separate the two and starting and ending point of the ranges. Yeah, in the range, what is there? There is one start point of the cell and there is one ending point. Okay, or the last location of the cell, or there is one starting range, there is one starting location, there is an ending location. So between them we have a colon here. Okay, then A to D means what? All the cells under the columns A to D. So if you are not specifying the row number, then it means that we want to refer to the whole columns. Okay, A to D means what? All the cells under the columns A to D, irrespective of the rows. All the rows will be counted here. Okay, 2:2 means what? All the cells belonging to the entire row 2. The 2:2 means what? All the cells, all the columns will be considered. Then 2:5 means what? All the cells belonging to the rows 2 to 5. So here there will be no particular columns. All the columns in the rows from 2 to 5 will be considered in this particular range of cells. Okay, these are the various notations which you can use for referring to various types of ranges of cells here. Okay, now we'll see how we can do the calculations here. See simply how we can do the calculations. First of all, double click on any cell on which you want to perform the calculation. Okay, and then in the type an equal to symbol there. Okay, the equal to symbol, whenever we start typing in a cell, that content will also be displayed in the formula bar also. Whenever we type any content in cell, that content is also displayed in the formula bar. Okay, so you can either type it in the cell or you can also type it in the formula bar. Those both will be equivalent. Okay, so type the formula. After that, okay, in the cell, how we can type the formula in E3. For example, in the cell E3 we have typed the formula C equal to then C3 into D3. See, one thing is very important. Every formula will start with the symbol equal to. So before entering the formula, make sure that you have entered the symbol equal to. Then you have to type the formula. So here we are going to multiply the value C3, value in C3 and D3. So we have entered here C3 into D3. Okay. Now this formula will be used to get the total amount spent on balloons, because third row is having the item balloon. So what will happen when you multiply the quantity by the rate, it will give you the amount which is there in the which was spent on buying balloons here. Okay. Similarly, you can use the formula in all the other rows for calculating the amount which was spent on buying these quantities, buying these items. Okay. Now, arithmetic operators. How we can use arithmetic operators for doing calculations in an Excel cell? You need to use various arithmetic operators. Okay. What type of arithmetic operators can be used? Different operators are given here. Operator 0. Okay, its name is bracket. Sorry, it's not a 0. It is a parenthesis. Okay, it is a parenthesis. In your book, it is appearing like 0 because here they haven't provided any space here. So it is typing mistake. They should have provided with some space. So that is actually what it is. It is a parenthesis only. All of you know what are parentheses? They are circular brackets. Okay, this is a bracket. Okay, how it is used? The first example is for adding 1 and 7 inside the brackets first. So it can be used for adding numeric values. Okay, it can be used for performing any, not just for adding, for performing any arithmetic operation on the numeric values. Okay, that we can, those values we can put it within the bracket. Okay, and then after the bracket, what will happen? First, that operation will be performed, and whatever is the result of the operation, that will be applied, that will be then be multiplied with 3 here. Okay, here the result of the operation of the addition will be 8 here. Okay, and then first of all 1 and 7 will be added here, and then the result 8 will be multiplied to 3 here. So whatever is the content of the bracket, that is executed, that is calculated first. Okay, and then that result is added or it is operated to the rest of the expression. Okay, now in the second example here, a1 minus b1 plus n. Here what is actually happening? This bracket is containing two cell references. Cell references means cell addresses. So b1 is one cell address and c1 is another cell address. So here it is containing two cell addresses. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are using brackets to contain two cell addresses. Why we are using brackets here? Because we want these two cell because we want to perform the calculations on these two cell addresses before the other calculations. We want to perform the calculation on these two cell addresses before other operations. That is why we have put them within bracket. So whatever operation is specified within the brackets, that will be performed before the other operations. First of all, b1 plus c1 will be done, and then that result will be subtracted to a1, or it would, or if any other operation was there, then after that, after the bracket has been evaluated, then that result will be operated with the other operand. Okay, this is the usage of the bracket here. Okay, adding values in cells b1 c1 first. Then power used for obtaining the power of any number to any base. So getting 2 to the power 3 means 2 into 2 into 2 means 2 to the power 3 here. Okay, then also a1 to the power b1. So here a1 and b1 are two cell addresses. They will be containing any numerical value. So what will happen? That numerical value will be treated as a number. Say for example, if a1 is having 5 and b1 is having 3, then what it will be calculated? 5 to the power 3 means 5 into 5 into 3. So getting a1 to the power b1, whatever is the value of a1 and whatever is the value of b1, Here what will happen, that value of a1 will be calculated with power b1. Okay, now multiplication, similar, these are very simple. Multiplication means what? Here multiplication operator star is used for multiplying values. It can multiply numeric values as well as cell addresses. Then division also, again it can divide numerical values like 12 divided by 4 also it can do, and it can also divide cell addresses. Dividing cell addresses means what? Dividing the values which are contained in the cell addresses. It will actually divide whatever value is contained in the cell b1 will be divided by the value which is contained in the cell c1. The value in b1 will be divided by the value in the cell c1 here in the second example of division. Then again addition, subtraction, these are very simple. Okay, all these are very similar to what we have studied. So in this way, when you have more than one operator in a formula, then the precedence rule tells you the order in which you will do the calculation. So what is the precedence rule here? The rule states that first of all the bracket will be solved. That is why we use a bracket here. We use a bracket so that whatever is within the bracket will be solved first, and then that result will be operated with the other operands. Okay, in the expression. Then second will happen, after the bracket what will be executed? Power will be executed. First the bracket, then the power operator. Okay, then what is in the third step? Then the next multiplication or division will be whichever comes first from the left. So what is there from the left side? It will be scanned. The expression will be valid from the left side, starting from the left side in the order the operator will be executed. So whatever comes first, if multiplication comes first from the left, starting from the left, if multiplication operator comes first, then multiplication will be evaluated first. If division comes first starting from left, then division will be operated first. So whatever operator whatever operator comes first, whether it is multiplication or division, that will be operated first. Okay, whatever comes first from the left side, that will be operated first. And then what will happen in the fourth step is or you can say the fourth level in the hierarchy is what? It's not addition or subtraction. So why it is fourth? Because it is considered to be the lowest in the hierarchy of operators. Okay, so first of all the bracket will be solved, then power operator will be evaluated, then multiplication or division will be evaluated. Whatever is evaluated depends on what comes first from the left side. Starting from the left side, whatever operator comes first, whether multiplication or division, that will be operated first. And then after that, what will happen? The addition or the subtraction operator. Here again, whatever operator comes first from the left side, that will be operated first. So in this order, all these operators are evaluated. See example here, multiplication or division, whichever comes first from the left side will be calculated first when they occur side by side. Similarly, addition or subtraction, whichever comes first from the left side will be calculated first when they occur side by side. So here one simple example is given over here. All of you have studied BODMAS in your mathematics, so it will be very easier for you to understand. This example is very similar to BODMAS. It is actually a very simple mathematics example of BODMAS itself. It is not, it is similar, it is totally similar to BODMAS. Okay, here in BODMAS what we were doing was we were evaluating bracket first, then division, then off, then division, then multiplication, then addition, subtraction. So in computer also, in Excel also, the same order is being followed. Okay, here also again see, first the division is first of all the brackets are evaluated, then 13 minus 9 is evaluated 4, then divided by 12 minus 9 will be 2 into 5. Then again what will happen now? Multiplication. See again in the second step what is there? The power operator is evaluated. Then see whatever operator is evaluated in this example, it is highlighted in red color. You can see in the red or pink color, whatever operator is evaluated in the expression, that is highlighted by the red color here. Okay, and you can say in the order, first of all the bracket, then the power, then multiplication and division, then first of all the multiplication, then again multiplication division is there, and then in the after that subtraction is done, then in the last what is there? The addition is being done. So in this order, in the hierarchy of orders, any expression in Excel will be evaluated. This order will be followed for evaluating each and every numerical expression in Excel. Okay, now we'll stop this video here. In the next video we will discuss about the cell references. Thank you.